Good morning, students. Welcome to the class of SYBSc Biotechnology. I am Benazir Sheikh, Department of Chemistry from NB Mehta Valwada Science College, Bordi. Students, for your third semester, I shall be taking Applied Chemistry 1. It includes total 3 units. That is, Unit 1, Introduction to Types of Organic Reactions, Unit 2, Synthesis of Organic Compounds, and Unit 3, Green Chemistry and Synthesis. Out of these 3 units, I shall be taking a part of Unit 1, which includes Introduction to Types of Organic Reactions, which is further subdivided into addition, elimination, and substitution reactions. Whereas the remaining part of Unit 1 and Unit 2, that is Synthesis of Organic Compounds, Bordikar sir shall take. I shall be taking complete Unit 3, that is Green Chemistry and Synthesis. So students, let us start our lecture. Well, the objective of this course is to have a firm foundation of the fundamentals and applications of organic and green chemistry. So let us see the learning outcomes. Students, the learning outcomes of this topic shall be: you shall be able to understand and explain the different aspects of organic chemistry, organic reactions, and green chemistry, the role of green chemistry and its applications in industry. Well, what is chemistry? We can say chemistry is an important branch of science. Then the next question, how do we define the term chemistry? Students, the term chemistry could be defined as the study of composition, structure, and properties of matter and the reactions by which one form of matter may be converted into another form. Then the next question, why chemistry is called as a central science? Well, students, we can say that chemistry is an active, evolving science, and it is of vital importance to the entire world. Although the subject has very ancient roots, it is a modern science. Its basic knowledge is essential for development of different subjects, say physics, biology, geology, engineering, environmental science, and many others. Therefore, it is called as a central science. Students, let us discuss about the different branches of chemistry. Well, there are several branches of chemistry, such as physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, analytical chemistry, and biochemistry. Students, physical chemistry, it is a branch of chemistry that deals with the structure of matter, the energy changes, and the theories, laws, and principles that explains the transformation of matter from one form to another form. Inorganic chemistry, it is a branch of chemistry that deals with chemistry of elements other than carbon and their compounds. Organic chemistry, this branch of chemistry deals with reactions of the compounds of carbon. Analytical chemistry, this is the branch of chemistry which deals with the separation, identification, and quantitative determination of the compositions of different substances. And biochemistry, this is the branch of chemistry that deals with substances which are constituents of living organisms. Students, pharmaceutical chemistry, environmental chemistry, and nuclear chemistry are also branches of chemistry. So students, we have learned that organic chemistry deals with reactions of the compounds of carbon. Students, remember that all organic compounds contain carbon. Carbon atoms show catenation, in which carbon atoms combine with other carbon atoms to form long chains and rings. They can also form multiple bonds. Carbon has unusual property to form strong bonds with many other elements. Due to this property of carbon, large number of organic compounds like proteins, DNA, sugar, urea, oils are formed. So we can say that organic chemistry is considered as chemistry of carbon compounds. Students, also remember that every organic compound must contain a carbon atom, but every compound containing carbon atom need not be an organic compound. For example, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and carbonates. They are considered as inorganic compounds. So students, you might have heard about the term chemical reaction. So how do we define chemical reaction? Well, chemical reaction could be defined as a process in which a substance interacts producing chemically new substance. The chemical reactions are carried out under appropriate conditions of temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. Students, remember that organic reactions are used in the construction of new organic molecules. Students, in organic molecules, atoms are linked through covalent bonds, which are made up of shared pair of electrons. During organic reactions, the old bonds in reactants are broken and new bonds are formed. The bond breaking generally results in the formation of reactive species, which react further to give products. Thus, the bond breaking and formation always involve shifting of electrons between the bonds and atoms. These electronic shifts are represented as curved arrows. So students, let us study about mechanism of organic reaction. Students, we are going to study about curved arrows. Okay. So curved arrows are used to represent the electronic shifts. They are used to represent the electronic shifts between bonds and atoms during a making and breaking of bonds. So the curved arrows are used to indicate the direction in which the movement of electron takes place. That is, from atom to the bond or from bond to the atom. There are two types of curved arrows, double barbed arrow and fish hook arrow or a single barbed arrow. So students, when this arrow point away from a bond, it means that the bond is breaking. And if an arrow point to a neutral atom, it becomes negative. If an arrow points away from the neutral atom, it becomes positive, and so on. Let us see one example. Consider the example of hydrolysis of alkyl halide. So the curved arrows are useful in explaining the mechanism of reaction. Remember students, it gives us step-by-step information of how reactant changes to product. whether there was a formation of a transition state, whether it was a single step reaction or a multi-step reaction, and whether it has undergone homolytic fission or heterolytic fission. So it gives the detailed information about how the particular reactant changes to product. Let us see one example. Consider the hydrolysis of alkyl halide. So first we have this hydroxide ion which is acting as a nucleophile, nucleus loving. So alkyl halide, that is methyl bromide. Next step is this nucleophile will attack on this carbon atom and the bromine becomes a leaving group. So this curved arrows represent making of bond and this tail indicates breaking of bond. So you get the formation of a transition state. OH, CH3, Br. This bond is formed, this bond is broken. So it is represented by partial negative charge, it is represented by partial positive charge. So you get the formation of, that is OH, CH3 plus Br with a negative charge. So students, it indicates formation of a bond, it indicates breaking of bond. Okay. Now, there are two types of reactions, remember students. First is single step reaction and other is multi-step reaction. So in single step reaction, reactant changes to transition state and it gives the formation of a product as shown in the above example. In multi-step reaction, reactant changes to transition state 1 which may result in the formation of an intermediate. Then from intermediate, you get the formation of transition state 2 and a product. So intermediate could be anything, carbocation, carbanion, anything. Okay. Then there are two types of fission. Bond fission are generally of two types. First is the homolytic fission and second is the heterolytic fission. So homolytic fission, that is the bond breaks such that each fragment gets one electron from the shared pair of electrons. Okay. So for example, if the bond breaks in this pattern, homolytic fission is represented by fish hook arrow. Okay. So you get the formation of a radicals. On the other hand, heterolytic fission, the bond breaks in such a manner that using this curved arrow you get the formation of the charged ions, that is A with a positive charge plus B with a negative charge. So homolytic fission results in free radicals, heterolytic fission results in formation of the charged ions. So students, in today's lecture we have discussed about the term chemistry. We have seen that why it is called as a central science. Then we have discussed about the branches of chemistry. Then we have discussed about the use of curved arrows and the types of reactions, single step reaction, multi-step reaction. Then we have also discussed about the types of bond fission, that is cleavage of bond, homolytic bond fission and heterolytic bond fission. So students, in our next lecture we shall be discussing about the classification of organic reaction, where we are going to study about reagents and substrate plus the different type of the organic reactions in detail. So students, here is an assignment for you. It includes total 5 questions. Prepare a separate notebook and find out the answer to the above questions. If you have any difficulty, you can ask us. Till then, take care.